If you have been battling with heat stress on your farm, or you have been experiencing high mortalities on your farm as a result of heat stress, or you have just been experiencing high mortality and you think this mortality as a result of infections or poultry diseases, be it viral disease, bacterial disease, or parasitic disease, but in right contrast it is actually heat stress, but you don't know it is heat stress, this particular video is what you need to watch right now, because I'm going to be explaining certain things to you about heat stress and how you can mitigate or reduce mortalities from heat stress on your farm. Because I'm just coming back from a farmer right now who has lost 60 something birds out of 300 birds in a space of 4-5 days. So this farmer has been, in a day, I think in a day he said he lost about 20 something birds. Another day there was 16 mortalities. Another day there is like 8 to 9 mortalities, and it's happened like that, and everything accumulated into maybe 60 something birds. He said there was a day when there were 4 weeks, he lost certain birds to one day, and I asked him certain questions. He said that was due to his own negligence or thereabouts. But the other one that he has lost as a result of heat stress is what I even want to explain to you guys today. So when this person invited me, they called me that his birds are sick, his birds are dying, and he does not even know what to do. That he has given them all the necessary medications, he has given them antibiotics, this and that, and they are still dying. So what exactly can he do, or what exactly can he give like his birds again for them to survive? And what I told him is that does he have any mortalities on the ground? And he said yes. And I said, you know what, I'll be coming to your farm to actually post them and try and see what would be the problem. So when I got to his farm, I posted few of the birds, and to my surprise there was nothing wrong with those birds. I checked, I checked everything. I checked the liver, I checked the kidney, I checked the proventriculars, I checked for whether there is coccidiosis, checked the helium. I tried as much as possible to check if I can actually see maybe sign of disease or infection. Nothing was found. I even go ahead to check the trachea. Maybe the birds have respiratory infection, but honestly speaking, the birds are fine and looking very, very healthy. So during this process, and I told him that, you know what, let me just try and enter your pen. I disinfected myself and I entered his pen. And it was when I entered this pen, I actually realized that there is a whole lot wrong with everything on that farm. So the first thing I noticed was that it is actually the pen. The first thing I noticed was that this pen is actually a deep litter system, or he decided to do this new innovation that they are doing, this new cage innovation they are doing for broilers now. He did it in his farm. So one thing I told him was that, what is the capacity of your pen before? He said it can take 500 birds, and he said you stock 300 birds in those cages. So that's where the first problem came from, because I told him that if you are using a deep litter of 500 before, and you now want to you want to transfer them into this cage, I want you to be rest assured that you have to divide the capacity of your production by 2. So if your pen on deep litter can actually take 500 birds, right now that you are using cage, they have to be 250. So you stocking 300 birds means that they are being overstocked. But even right now that you have lost 60 something birds and it has reduced to maybe 240, they are no longer overstocked, but your birds are still dying. So where is the problem coming from? So I made him understand that the way the rooftop from the bed to the floor is now different from when they are in the cage, because now that they are not in the cage, they are very closer to the aluminium sheet, and then the heat will be radiating directly into the farm. So by the time I stayed there for 5 minutes, I felt it immediately, and I made him understand that, are you not feeling it? He said yes, that he is feeling heat. But when I saw these birds, honestly speaking, these birds are looking very healthy. They are active, they are even big for their age, because the birds are 5 weeks. By the time I got there, I tried to weigh some. They are weighing 2.2, 2.3, 2.5, and this is quite okay. But there is something wrong in that particular production. that I made him understand. It was around 3 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. that I went there, and you know, these are birds that are 5 weeks old, and I can still see that those birds they still have feet in their feeder. So that is another problem that I noticed. So the first problem I noticed is the fact that the birds are very close to the roof, and then the heat is directly eating on those birds. That was the first problem that I noticed. The second problem is that at 3:30 p.m. or let's say against 4 p.m. your birds are still they are still feeding their feeders, and you know, these are 5-week birds. They are eating finisher feed that is high in energy content, and you know that the more energy that these birds consume, the more heat that their own internal body generates. Now imagine internal body generating heat and combining that heat with external heat in this hot weather condition. That is another problem. So the third thing I noticed is that no single bird is drinking water. This is still 3:30 p.m. and then this weather is very hot. Even with that pen, I'm already sweating, I'm feeling it already. So why are your birds not drinking water?
Before I continue, if you are serious about raising healthy broilers without losing money to disease, I've created a complete broiler medication and vaccination master guide. Let me be honest with you, most broiler farmers don't fail because of feed, they fail because of wrong medication and poor vaccination timing. That's exactly why I created my broiler medication and vaccination master guide, so you know exactly what to give, when to give it, and how to avoid costly mistakes. I will drop the link in the description so you go check it out.
I said maybe they are not feeling thirsty, that maybe there is water with them. Then I told you, go and check those water, and don't go and check the waters in those drinkers. Are they hot? And by the time we started checking the water, it is extremely hot. Then I asked him, you yourself, can you drink hot water under the sun? Won't you be looking for chilled or even blocked water? So that is another thing. We have to tell them to discard the water. And one thing about these birds is that, do you know that these birds are 5 weeks old? They are now big, they are now heavy, they are now weighty. So if you want to compare someone that is lean with someone that is chubby during this the way this hot weather is going to affect someone that is lean will be different from how it's going to affect someone that is chubby. So if someone that is complaining that there is heat, and this person is just using a fan or something to blow himself or herself, someone that is chubby will be running to the bedroom from time to time to take shower. So the same thing is applicable to these broilers, because you cannot compare their weight of 1 week, 2 weeks, how they are reacting. Because one thing that I noticed is that the birds that were dying are even the biggest of the birds in the farm, and that is exactly how it's supposed to be, because the heat is affecting them more. And that is another thing that I noticed on that one. And like I said initially, that the birds are okay. I also checked their droppings. Honestly speaking, their droppings is quite normal. I'm not seeing any bad thing about their droppings that can actually cause that high mortalities. And then when it comes to the birds didn't have CL. In fact, I was shocked. Your birds are 5 weeks and they are not sneezing, no CL. I tried to listen attentively. You know what? Are these birds going to sneeze or have any snoring sign? But honestly speaking, I didn't even hear about that. So maybe because of the cage that he switched to, that's why they are not having CLD. That's an advantage actually, but these are the problem. So what are we going to do in this kind of situation? The first thing I advise them is that, you see, this rooftop, if you know that you cannot invite a carpenter to come and help you raise it a bit so that the distance to the bed is going to be higher, ensure that you look for cartons to fill in those aluminium sheets, so that when the heat is coming, it's not coming directly to the bed. It is the carton that will be absorbing that heat, and then the ventilation will be able to circulate. So that was the first thing I told him. The second thing I told him is about feeding. I told him that these birds are now big. They are feeding on finisher, and birds that are above 2 kg. Are you going to sell them now? And he's trying to sell live birds. So the person that wants to come and take those birds from him said maybe they'll be coming when the birds are exactly 6 weeks. They already gave them time that, oh, they'll be coming when those birds are exactly 6 weeks. So he has no choice, he has to wait until those birds are 6 weeks. And that was what he even planned for initially. You want to like feed them until they are 6 weeks. And I felt so bad, because you can't imagine, this is in fact the birds that I saw, if you have to weigh them when they are alive, they should be weighing nothing less than 2.2 kg, because you can imagine if the ones in the pen are weighing 2.2, 2.3, and some are 2.5, you can imagine those ones that are died to would not weigh anything below 2 kg. So you can imagine losing like 60 something days. So the advice I gave him that they are feeding on finisher feed, and you know what? These birds are 5 weeks plus, and we are in the hot period. The heat is is quite much. One thing is that any feed you will feed your birds 11 a.m. ensure that they are done eating. And if you go to their pen by 11 a.m. and you realize that they have not finished their feed, you have to remove their feeders and give them water until it is evening, maybe around 5 p.m. before you give them another feed. So, you know, farmers, like I used to tell us that we should always have targets. You know, we always have targets that, oh, I want to feed my bird to so kg of food so that I can make so weight at so time. But in this kind of situation, I think I told him that this is not time for you to have a target of this. So let's say, for example, if your birds, like if your production will be consuming, let's say, for example, they're consuming 2 bags, 50 kg of feed in a day, for example. So if because of this heat, they won't consume that 50 kg, maybe it will have to reduce to maybe 42 kg, 43 kg, 44 kg. It is better. It is better you feed them that 42 kg, 43, 44, 45 kg rather than feeding them 50 kg and have problem. So if you know that before you used to give your birds feed by 8 a.m. and you know they will eat it against the evening, you fill their feeders, the one they maybe you feed them round the clock for 24 hours. You don't do that. It is not advisable. You can start feeding your birds from 6 a.m. and then when it's 11 a.m. go and check them. If they are done eating by 11, you can even go and check them from time to time. Start feeding them bit by bit. Give them by 6 a.m. Go back by 9. If they are completed that one, give them another feed and go back by 11. If they are finished that 11, leave it. But if they are not finished their feed by 11 a.m., withdraw those feed from them. This is not the time for you to feed your birds in the afternoon. That is number 2. The third thing you want to notice is that you want to change their waters from time to time. In this hot period, even you as a person, you cannot drink hot water, so don't give your birds hot water. It is not possible for you to enter a pen, even if it is not during the hot period, and you will not meet 1, 2, 3 or 4 of your birds drinking water. So going into your pen and you realize that there is water in that pen but there is no bird drinking water, it should signal to you that there is something wrong somewhere. Why are my birds not drinking water? Your birds, few of your birds, everybody cannot just be idle, sitting or not doing anything. Few of them, some will be sleeping, some will be eating, some will be drinking water. But since in this afternoon, I've asked them to you have to withdraw their feed, but provide them with water. So the moment you realize that these birds are not drinking water, even if there is water with them, it should signal to you that, oh, maybe this water is now hot. Then you check. If it is hot, you have to change it to a cool, cold water, not chilled water, like a normal room temperature water. So even if the water you have on your farm is hot, you have to add ice block to it. You add ice to it so that it can be cold and cool, not to be chilled, not the kind of chilled water that we drink or you drink. So that was what I told you about the drinkers. So these are the things you have to note first, and then during this hot period from 1 a.m. to 4 p.m. ensure that you are including stressor and vitamin C in their drinking water. Like you can either use vitamin C or use stressor. For me, stressor is more accessible. Vitamin C too is accessible, but just use a stressor for them and they are good to go. Then I told him that if you can do this, so let's take for example, maybe in the morning you used to give your birds 15 kg, in the evening you give them 15 kg, and at night you give them another 15 kg that they will eat around the clock. So if what you have to give them in the morning is 8 kg or 10 kg, and you will have to wait till maybe 5 p.m. to give them 15 kg, and at night that's in 15 kg. It is better for you to have a reduction of certain amount of feed on your farm rather than forcefully feeding them. You just want them to be big, then you keep on feeding. The only time this kind of thing will work is when you have a space of 500 capacity and you now stock 100 beds. So this kind of situation, there is enough space, so you might not really feel the heat, and that is even when the roof is not closer to the beds. So in that kind of situation, there will be no ventilation, there will be no space. Sure, you understand? So you can do anyhow in this kind of situation. Then I told him that, let's try this first and see how it goes. So inform me tomorrow what is the situation on ground, because the mortalities he experienced, it only happened in the afternoon. So he said around 4 p.m., around 4 p.m. going to 5. The winter he spent 3 p.m., 4 p.m. the meat mortalities. And that is the only time they remove all of these mortalities. It's not as if you slept, you woke up, you went to your farm, and then you now have mortalities and you start to remove mortalities. So even you as a farmer, if you notice that you are only experiencing mortalities during the afternoon, just look at its stress, because if it is a viral disease or maybe bacterial disease, mortalities can occur anytime. It can happen in the morning, it can happen in the afternoon, it can happen at night, it can happen anytime. But the moment that you are not experiencing mortalities in the afternoon only, you can just look into its stress. So if you are the kind of person that you have experienced these things before, or you've been having mortalities, or you don't even know how to go about it, these are the things you need to look into. So I'm only making this video based on what I experienced on this person's farm. Maybe in another person's farm, the situation might be different. It might be another thing entirely that I will notice. I will say that, this is where the problem is coming from. But on this person's farm, these was the things that I noticed, and that is why I'm coming here to make reference to it. Because when people always complain that they are having high mortalities on their farm, and some things like that, so I used to experience the better that I understand the fact that stress is normal for your birds to have this stress, because when stress is happening, there will be low feed intake, they will be drinking more water. Now imagine during this heat period, you enter a pen, there is feed in their feed, and definitely they are not eating that feed because of the heat, and secondly, they are not drinking water. So why are they not drinking water? Because during heat stress, the feed intake will reduce and the water intake will increase. So why are they not drinking water? Because it is also. But for a farmer that knows about this, a knowledgeable farmer that knows the right things to do, know that you have to change your best water from time to time. So, but in this particular person's case, he wasn't changing water. He was expecting them to finish the water before he changes it, and the water is hot already. Even you as a person, can you take hot water during the hot weather? It is not possible. So the same thing that happens to human beings, the same thing that happens to these animals, and that's that. You just have to look inward, look into your farm in total. Like I said in my previous video, that you have to use all your body senses when it comes to poultry production. Poultry production is not just about you feeding your pets and giving them water to drink and maybe buying some drugs, vaccines and the likes. You have to use all your body senses. You use your head, you use your eye, you use your nose, you use all your body senses, your sense organs, to sense for anything. Where is the problem coming from? How do I solve it? What's the problem? Why are these birds dying? 60 birds, and this person is selling these birds as live birds. Assuming he will be processing it and selling it as frozen chicken. Now, he would make his capital back and also make profits, but the profits may not really be much. But will still make a reasonable amount of profits. But with this live bird I just pray he recovers his money back, because 60, that's almost 20% mortality. Imagine having 20% mortality from just its stress. So guys, that's that on stress, and I hope this video helps you. So
check the link in the description of this video to grab a copy of this ebook.
If you find value in this particular video, do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on your bell notification so that you do not miss out on our next video. And guys, I'm going to see you on my next video.